Hey pilots, Skip here. Broke down and bought the Freewing A-6E 80mm intruder. I got this model where I get most of my stuff, most of my planes, from Motion RC. Like I said, great bunch of guys there. They're real helpful. I had a lot of questions on this because I'm still kind of new into the, well, I'm pretty much new into this. I just started in April of this year. That's, yeah, 2015, so what do I got, maybe 5-6 months of flight experience, but I'm already flying this stuff, and you know, this one's a little bit bigger. I've been flying a 70mm F-16. I got a couple videos out there. I've got a really wicked, psycho, hot, fast glider. It's I got that from Hobby King. That's called the Durafly makes it. It's the Hobby King brand. It's called the Zephyr. Check into it. That's a 70mm glider. The thing goes, like, with a 4S battery, it'll go about 90 miles an hour. This thing should be a lot faster. I've got it's got an 80mm 12-blade metal electric ducted fan in here with an 80 amp ESC. I've got the plug-and-play version, and I've already taken everything out of the box. I did another video, but that gets a little bit too lengthy, and I just wanted to throw this together, you know, kind of quickly, because I think it will, honestly. Otherwise, I was going to do a time frame or time lapse type of thing on this. Now, to get started with, I always pull my parts out. Usually my table is a little bit more cleared off, but I've got a couple other projects going at the same time right now, so some of that stuff has to kind of be there, or I'll lose track of it. At least it's an organized mess. I know where it's at. But according to Motion RC, if you look at their website for the intruder, this thing is supposed to take 2 hours, about 2 hours to build. Man, I just don't see it. I mean, here's all the screws, and they give you a little tube of glue, and I mean, this is all the rest of the parts here, guys. There's just a couple little stabilizers in here that hold the drop tanks. These things that look like bombs, they were actually fuel tanks. Remember, the history of the A6 was an all-weather attack aircraft. Most of its missions were at night, and it went long range, long distance, very, very low altitudes, through just horrible weather. So they used a ton of fuel. So they had all kinds of, they would carry up to 3 drop tanks, besides the the fuel that they would carry in their wings. So they had quite a cruising range. I wish I knew the specs on it. I don't really remember. I've only kind of looked into it a bit. I just think the thing looks absolutely killer. And that's without the wings, man. Look at the nose on that thing. Holy crap, man. Sure hate to get beamed with that thing at about 100+ miles an hour. Anyway, it runs on a 6-cell battery. I've got an Admiral 6-cell is what they call for it. Actually, I believe the battery was made by the company for Freewing, for Motion RC. Anyway, Freewing, I believe, is the only RC company that actually carries the intruder, that makes a model of the intruder. And to my knowledge, I think Motion RC is the only one I've seen that actually carries one. So they're not a lot out there. But they're very popular. They're smooth, stable flying jet, according to what I understand. It comes in a few sections here. Here's the tail section here. It's nice because they've got the servo already installed here in the PMP version, and everything is already set up, even clevises, linkages, everything. Looks like they've even centered it up. The graphics and the decals, I mean, the decals are so, I almost can't tell if they're decals or if they're painted, but I can see, no, they're decals, but they've put the coating, the shiny coat over it too. They almost look painted on. But I mean, somebody really took their time on this, folks, guys and gals. There's just even the paint. There's no overspray here that you're going to have to get in here if you want to glue your wings. They say you don't really have to glue the wings on this. I suppose that would depend on the type of flying you do. I'm going to ask a couple of people that know a little better and see what they recommend. You know, I don't care either way. it'd be cool to be able to just take it apart and put it back in the box, stick it in the closet till till I want to fly it, type of thing. But if it's going to be flimsy or have a chance on breaking apart in flight, doing some kind of maneuver, like I like to get on it a little bit. It's going to be awful hard to ride a bronking buck and not open them up. So with that, you see the back end here is like that too. But that's the only thing that you actually have to glue. That and the those mounts that I'm showing you here for the bomb drops, or for the drop tanks. And it looks like we got twins, no doubt. Hey, Motion RC, you lied. One of your guys, who was it, Captain Mike or Captain Ryan? I think. I'm not sure if it was Mike or Ryan. I think it might have been Ryan. He said one of these pilots looked exactly like William Dafoe. Man, not at all. In fact, they look a little gay. But identical twins. That would be a first, huh? So anyway, I'm going to get this thing together here real quick and hold tight. Shouldn't take long at all. Honestly, we got 2 wings. Everything slides on. There's 4 screws. The tail section, we just glue this part here. The couple of bombs underneath the wings. Everything else, the tail glues on. The bottom plate here that holds the tail section on, that just slaps up underneath. And I see there's 3 screws for that. I suppose maybe they're thinking, it takes approximately 2 hours, I suppose. Putting it actually together looks like it's going to take about 5 minutes. I'll give myself 15 because I'm going to be really sure that I make sure I do all the connections like these in here. You want to make sure you get those before you put it together and glue it, because if you forget to make that connection, you're really going to be sorry, really pissed off that you have to open it up again and take a chance on scarring a perfectly brand new airplane. Nothing worse than beating them up before they even hit the air, before they even get flown. That's where most of my damage happens, is usually either in the house, navigating the 3 dogs, or trying to carry a plane over 3 big bulldogs and through the living room, and trying to get it out to double doors, and both those doors always seem to want to shut a little extra tight when I'm walking through with a plane. I don't know, poltergeist or something. Anyway, I'll get this thing together here, and we'll bring it back, and after that, the next thing you'll see is probably the maiden. And I hope we won't crash anymore, because we're getting a little bit better. This is a different type of style flying. I know you're going to have to fly it in. It's going to be fast, but it's big. At least maybe I'll be able to see the darn thing. So, all right. Thanks for watching. I'll get going on this, and you just hold tight. Alright, I kind of hope you can see me here. If I run into anything in particular here, I'll let you guys know. I'm starting to get a little experience with building things, and in fact, I really kind of want to get to a point here where I can I want to design and build my own. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I'm leaning towards the EDFs just because I like them so much. Now, sorry about my face here, but I need to see it. Hope you guys can see this okay. I kind of got it propped up on the shelf over there with a cigarette underneath the back end so it tips down. The instruction manual that you get, honest to God, man, impressed. Really impressive. Freewing is about the only one plane I've seen that has this good of instructions. FMS isn't bad either. I like FMS. Theirs are pretty clear, and it's English, understandable actually. Some of the stuff you get, the English is so broken that it doesn't matter if they've written something for you to try to help you or not, because you can't understand it, or it doesn't make sense in our language. But this here, everything is really done well. All the parts, the layouts, the CGs, the specs, I mean, right down to how many grams of thrust for 2 different versions of this plane. They did make a 4S. We've got the 6S. And this one has enough thrust. The thrust exceeds the weight of this plane with the battery in it. So, I mean, that means it will go vertical. The 4S didn't have that. The 4S was shy by about an ounce, by about a little over an ounce. And that means it wouldn't, if you were moving, it would go up, I'm sure, but it wouldn't go up for very long. This one looks like it probably just keep going up until it runs out of range. So, but we'll see. We'll see. The air gets thinner up there too, so it will probably have a, I'm sure it has a terminal, a vertical limit. But yeah, all the specs, all measurements, throws, right down to the horns, the screws to use. I mean, it's not rocket science here. You can see it, you know, by the amount of parts. But man, everything. I mean, okay, I've got the plug-and-play version, right? Let's say something bad happens, and it does. You know, it happens more to some than others. Knock on wood. It was just me, Doug. Where was I? Sorry about that. Got trying to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time here. But yeah, the everything in here is very, very clear and concise. But say something bad happens, and bad things happen. You know, I didn't build it, right? So, but I've got to replace stuff that was done at the factory. I don't know how to do that, right? Well, guess what? They give you all the stuff in here just as if it was a kit. You know, every instruction, every word in here is like for the kit. They show what you can pass up and what you have to do. You know, if it's a kit, then you follow every step in there. Otherwise, you get to skip steps. It's kind of like skipping grades in school. That's sweet. All right, enough talk. Let's get to work here.